A very good afternoon to you and welcome to Lunchtime News, coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst newsroom here in Colombo. I'm Stephanie Lazarus. Before we go into the stories in detail, here's a look at the headlines. Elections take place in a peaceful manner. International leaders and UN Secretary-General commend the electoral process. Elections monitors say that the post-election period is calm. Election Secretariat announces that the national list should be submitted within a week. 7 killed as landslide hits Sikh shrine in North India. Sebastian Coe elected IAF president. Our stories in detail. The United States commended Sri Lanka's commitment to democracy and rule of law as displayed by the peaceful parliamentary elections. Spokesperson of U.S. State Department John Kirby at the press briefing said the United States commends the Sri Lankan people and government for Monday's election, which demonstrated their enduring commitment to democracy and the rule of law, unquote. The United States applauded the Sri Lankan Elections Commissioner, Sri Lankan civil society and the candidates themselves for holding free and fair elections that were widely hailed as among the most peaceful in Sri Lanka's history. The statement adds that the United States looks forward to working with President Sirisena, the Prime Minister, and the new government of Sri Lanka. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi had called up UNP leader Ranil Wickremesinghe to congratulate him on his party's victory in the parliamentary polls and express confidence that the relations between the two countries will get better under his leadership. The Indian Prime Minister also congratulated the people of Sri Lanka on the peaceful conduct of polls. UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon has encouraged the new government in Sri Lanka to make further progress on good governance, accountability and reconciliation. The UN chief said he applauds the people of Sri Lanka for their peaceful and broad-based participation in the parliamentary elections on the 17th of August. Meanwhile, the Election Secretariat has announced that the list of National List MPs need to be submitted within a week after the 2015 parliamentary election results were announced. Additional Elections Commissioner R.M.A. Ratnayaka said that the list should be submitted by the General Secretaries of the parties that won. He added that the results of MPs who won the elections to enter Parliament will be submitted to the Elections Commissioner by the District Returning Officers in the coming days. Additional Elections Commissioner Ratnayaka said that once the names and the results of the victorious MPs are submitted along with the National List MPs, all names will be gazetted. According to the final results of the 2015 parliamentary elections, the United National Party secured 93 seats, while the United People's Freedom Alliance secured 83 seats. The JVP secured only 4 seats in Parliament. The Lanka Tamil Arasu Katchi won 14 seats in Parliament, and the Sri Lanka Muslim Congress and EPDP won 1 seat each. The United National Party also secured 13 national list seats, while the UPFA obtained 12 national seats. The JVP and the ITAC obtained 2 seats each under the national basis. The results of the preferential votes for the Colombo and Gampar districts were released in the wee hours of today. The United National Party was able to win 11 seats from the Colombo district. The United People's Freedom Alliance was able to secure 7 seats, while the Janata Vimukti Peramuna was able to win only 1 seat. Ranil Wickremesinghe received the highest number of preferential votes by garnering 500,556 preferential votes. Sujiva Senasinghe came in second for the UNP with 117,049 preferential votes. Dr. Harsha De Silva came in third with 114,147 preferential votes. Ravi Kannanayaka came in fourth with 111,394 preferential votes. Patli Champika Ranawaka came fifth with 100,444 preferential votes. SM Marika received 92,526 preferential votes from the UNP. In addition, Mujibur Rahman, Eran Vikramaratne, Vijayadas Rajapaksa, Manu Ganeshan and Hirunika Premachanda were able to enter Parliament under the UNP ticket. From the United People's Freedom Alliance, Vimal Veeravansu received 313,801 preferential votes and secured the top spot from the alliance. Sudhir Gamanpila came in second with 198,818 preferential votes. Susi Premajanta secured 174,075 preferential votes and came in third. Dinesh Gunawardena came in fourth place for the UPFA by receiving 124,451 preferential votes. Madhula Gunawardena, Mohanlal Grero and Gami Lokuge were able to enter Parliament under the UPFA ticket. Meanwhile, from the Janata Vimukti Peramuna, its leader, Anurag Kumar Sanaka, was the only member who was able to enter Parliament from the Colombo district. The Sanaka received 65,966 preferential votes.
The last preferential votes results to be released were from the Colombo district. Colombo district returning officer Kalmal Padmasari was questioned as to why the preferential vote results were delayed. According to the Elections Act, a district returning officer is a title that bears much responsibility. Rather than releasing the results quickly, it is my responsibility to see that the results released are accurate. What we did today is to select the members who would enter Parliament from the Colombo district. If a mistake was made in the counting of votes, the impact on these appointments would be large. Therefore, as a responsible government servant, I did not look at the time, but worked towards releasing accurate results. I need to mention that all those who were suspicious as to why the results were being delayed spoke to us in a friendly manner after the results were released. A number of candidates who were elected to Parliament expressed their thanks to all those who helped them become victorious. I never thought I would be able to achieve such a victory. I hope to fulfill the hopes and wishes placed upon me and the United National Party 100%. The main thing is that we have an opportunity to establish a UNP-led government. With the support of the President, this government will be able to move this country forward for the next 5 years, based on a strong political foundation. That is what we worked for, and our Prime Minister emerged victorious today.
I think Ranil Wickremesinghe broke a record at these elections. This is good news to us. I feel we were a group who stepped out with a set of principles with high hopes to establish good governance.
Our main aim is to improve the economy for the welfare of the public, and we promise to commence this work from today. I can assure this country is going to enjoy 5 prosperous years from today. We hope to establish good governance in the next 5 years under the leadership of President Maithripala Sirisena and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. It must be stated that as young MPs of the United National Party, we will work our hardest for the new generation in order to create a new country in the next 60 months. We are ready to fulfill this.
The United National Party secured 9 seats from the Gampha district, while the United People's Freedom Alliance garnered only 8 seats. The JVP only secured the one seat from the Gampha district. Ranjan Ramanayake, who obtained 216,463 preferential votes, topped the Gampha district. The second place on the preferential vote list from the Gampha district went to Arjuna Ranathunga, who obtained 165,890 preferential votes. Ruwan Vijayawardena obtained 157,932 preferential votes and secured third place on the preferential vote list from the Gampha district. Harshan Rajakaruna came fourth with 122,455 votes, while Ajit Manam Peruma came in fifth with 113,889 preferential votes. In addition, John Amarathunga, Kavinda Jayawardena, Chatura Senaratna and Edward Gunasekara were able to enter Parliament from the Gampha district under the UNP ticket. Prasanna Ranathunga topped the preferential votes for the United People's Freedom Alliance for the Gampha district with 384,448 preferential votes. Prasanna Ranathunga came in second with 112,395 preferential votes, while Nima Lansa came third with 94,375 preferential votes. With 90,749 preferential votes, Sisira Jayakodi came in fourth for the UPFA, while Indika Anuruddha came in fifth with 78,109 preferential votes. In addition, Sudarshani Fernandopulle, Dulip Vijayasekara and Lasantha Alagiyawanna were able to enter Parliament under the UPFA ticket from the Janata Vimukti Peramana. It was only Vijitha Viherath who was able to enter Parliament from the Gampaha district. Herath secured 55,299 preferential votes from the district. Meanwhile, election monitors say that the 48-hour period since the conclusion of the general election was peaceful. Executive Director of PAFREL, Rohana Hettiarachchi, said that no major incidents were reported except for one incident. The PAFREL organization urged political parties to refrain from organizing gatherings in order to maintain the same peaceful environment. Meanwhile, Executive Director of Cafe Kirti Thenakon said the post-election period has been peaceful except for one incident that was reported from the Ampara district.
During the post-election period, there was a very serious election violence incident took place yesterday night in Digamadulla district. The Sri Lanka Muslim Congress and ACMC members crashed each other and 3 people were hospitalized due to the injuries. And in this area, throughout the election campaign, we saw very aggressive campaigning both by the Muslim Congress and the ACMC. And as a result, the police has deployed additional troops to these areas. And it is very unfortunate that even though we had a very peaceful election day and just after the preferential voting numbers were announced, this incident took place. And when comparing to the previous parliamentary elections, we are having an extremely peaceful post-election environment in this election, which is very commanding, and we are so sure that the police will ensure that no election violence, especially no harming to the people who was defeated in this election, will take place during the post-election time.
Also convening a media briefing today, the European Union Elections Observation Mission issued a preliminary statement on the 2015 Sri Lankan general election. And speaking at the briefing, Chief Observer of the mission and member of the European Parliament, Christian Preda, had words of praise over how the elections were conducted, but also raised several points of interest.
The title we gave to this preliminary statement is Genuine and Well-Administered Elections with Restrictive Campaign Rules. 17 August parliamentary elections in Sri Lanka were well-administered and offered voters a genuine choice. The Commissioner of Elections and his staff administered the elections in a transparent and impartial manner. In addition to issuing circulars and guidelines throughout the campaign, the Commissioner had exceptionally broad powers to instruct any state institution. The wide interpretation of these powers, including that the Commissioner may order state outlets to halt broadcasts, challenged recently gained media freedoms. At times, such decisions were vague and impracticable and were issued on an ad hoc basis.
Well, that's a wrap of Lunchtime News. I'm Stephanie Lazarus. Join us again at 1:55 for the latest.